Hi, I'm Bob Dover, and thanks for watching another module of Stream Restoration in Suburbia series with some examples from Columbia, Maryland. And a few weeks ago I came down here where there was a sewage pipe break, and I recorded a little video, but that was before they did the repairs that they intended to do, and now they've done those repairs. And I want to go ahead and show you what they've done. And again, I'll just remind you that this entire townhouse community called Jeffers Glen was built before stormwater standards were required, and so it directed all the stormwater from these roofs and the impermeable parking lots, etc., into just a couple of these uncontrolled storm sewer outfalls, storm drains that lead to storm sewer outfalls right on the creek. And because there's no collection of water or treatment of the water, it results in very high velocity, high volume water entering the creek, which is causing the erosion. So I'm going to go ahead and walk down. This outfall, buried underground, goes between these townhouses down to the creek, and I'll walk down and show you what they've done to repair the situation down at the bottom. So now you can see I've walked down those stairs between the two townhouses, and that outfall pipe, storm drain, runs underground between those houses, down through the woods, and down here where we're at the stream level. And here's the asphalt path with the Columbia open space that follows a lot of these streams. And walking towards the outfall of those storm drains, you can see how they repaired this area. So this is where the sewer pipe was, and still is. It's a repaired sewer pipe. But this channel here at the outfall, turn around and show it to you, you can see two storm drain pipes entering, one on the right, one on the left. The one on the left is the one I just showed you in the parking lot there, but the other one comes from a parking lot too. And they enter this channel, which was heavily eroded previously, and for good reason, because there's no control on the stormwater volume. The runoff has been increased by converting forest to parking lots and roofs. That increased runoff is discharged with no effort to control it, and so when it reaches the outfall, it erodes. And there had been multiple previous attempts to deal with that erosion. This is just the next one, but with no attempt at any point to actually address that elevated runoff, to find a way to reduce it so that the erosion doesn't happen over and over and over again. And so what had happened here was that the erosion, little eroded channel went all the way to the creek, which you can see here, and the sewer pipe, which runs right along the creek, this channel had eroded down to the level of the sewer pipe and then underneath it. And that caused the sewer pipe to no longer be supported, and it eventually broke and released sewage into Elkhorn Branch here. And that was a problem and had to be fixed. Now, I want to note here that I attended a meeting shortly after this happened, and I knew what would be talked about, because both the county DPW and the Columbia Association owns the land, DPW owns the sewer pipe. They're obsessed with the idea that these streams are migrating laterally. And so any problem that you see comes from migration of the main channel of the stream. And so their story was that the main channel of the stream had migrated from the far side, where you now see mature trees, in the direction of the sewer pipe, and it eventually reached the sewer pipe and eroded under the sewer pipe. And if it was that migration of the stream that caused the problem, then of course it's the migration of the stream that has to be stopped with one of these destructive stream restoration projects. Well, one thing you can see, and I've done this, you can go onto the Howard County website and there's an interactive map, and you can look at aerial photos of this area or any area back to the 1970s. And what you see when you do that, you click on, they took aerial photos every couple of years. The idea that this stream has migrated, some 10, 20, 30 feet in the direction of the sewer pipe is fiction. It simply didn't happen. The stream was stable. The stream banks were not eroding. The stream was not moving laterally. And it wasn't the migration within the stream itself that eroded the sewer pipe. It was the erosion from this uncontrolled stormwater channel, stormwater sewer coming from the townhouse community. But now, to make things worse, and I can already tell, I was here yesterday, and I can already tell I'm being bitten by mosquitoes, and I'll show you exactly why. Because here's what they did. You can see that they did a fairly large-scale stream restoration project to fix this. And there was another area of the sewage pipe break further down, so I understand that. They had to replace a long section of sewer pipe. But this is a good 50 or 100 feet wide, and it extends about 400 feet down, and I think it covers about 2 acres at least, where they have removed, as they do in the stream restorations, they have removed all the trees, and the worst part is they've compacted the soil, which used to be permeable, used to absorb rainwater. I'll walk down here, and now what you'll see is this is now compacted. And now it's causing the water to pool and run off. And actually by now, I should have worn different shoes, because now I'm starting to sink in the muck. And it's basically all a swamp. And it hasn't even rained for a few days, or not much. And I've actually been out here several times. This has been like this every day, regardless of rain. It's now just saturated muck, because they've removed the trees that were doing evapotranspiration functions. They've eliminated those evapotranspiration functions. Now the groundwater table has risen. Now the water that comes from the top that used to infiltrate no longer infiltrates. And now they've created a swamp. And I'm getting bitten by mosquitoes like crazy. I deliberately wore long pants because yesterday my legs were getting eaten alive. But I'll walk down here and I'm going to be sinking in mud. I do want to show you this one tree. I said that they removed all the trees. Well, as you can see, that's not entirely true. They left a tree. I've noticed this at Longfellow. I've noticed this at the Glade in Reston. I've noticed this at the Autumn Harvest Stream Restoration. They will claim that they don't clear-cut trees. They just selectively remove a few. They try to minimize it. And they always leave 1 or 2 large trees. And what has happened at the other stream restoration sites, and I predict will happen here, is in a year or 2, this tree will be dead. Will be. They've completely changed its microenvironment. They've changed the groundwater level it's living in. They've changed the amount of sunlight it gets because they've removed the tree canopy for 360 degrees around it. They've changed the geochemistry of the area by bringing in foreign materials. This tree is done for. It's a shame, but I will come back here, every few months. I live close to here, and monitor this tree. But I predict it will be dead very shortly. But meanwhile, wading through the muck, and again, more mosquitoes eating me. I hope you can see this on the video, how waterlogged this area is. It's really disgusting what they've done. If you look off What used to be here, the area that they didn't treat, is just covered with grass and undergrowth and mature trees, and rainwater infiltrates when it hits it. But this soil here is all compacted, and now my feet are getting wet. Now maybe they will come in here in a few months, maybe this fall, and replant some of these trees. But if they do, we know from experience it'll be small stick trees that will take decades to return to the same level of hydrologic function and ecological function that the original trees did. And so my problem here, I understand, sewer pipe broke, got to do something. But as with any project in any environment, you want to minimize the disturbance. You want to minimize the vegetation removal, because the vegetation is doing magical things, not only for the ecology, but the hydrology. So you want to maintain the vegetation. You want to avoid compacting soil, especially around the critical root zones of trees, which they've done here. And so this was just, in my mind, completely unnecessary. They had to do surgical repair of eroded infrastructure. They had to acknowledge that the problem was due to the outfall from the townhouses. It wasn't from the stream. They didn't need to fix the stream. They needed to fix the outfall from the townhouses. But that's hard. Fixing the stream is easy, and time again, you see them taking the easy way out. So thank you for tuning into this module. It's just upsetting to see the large extent of destruction they've done here that was completely unnecessary. So thanks for watching the module. I'm sure I'll be recording more.